All right, family. Black Power is the truth. Hour with General Sarasu said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's right, family. Tomorrow is the day the three wicked sons of Abraham exposed is going down. Generalseti.ticketleap.com. I want you in the place. We're gonna be opening up the mysteries on Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Most definitely, it's gonna be some jewels and gems that you just not gonna want to miss. I ain't got to tell you no more because you already know when I say what I say is the truth. So you should most definitely not miss it. The link right down in the video description in the chat room is generalseti.ticketleap. Click that link and be in the house for an amazing presentation. That's right. We excited and delighted to be accepted members to the Sarasun Seti YouTube page. And if you are a member tomorrow, if you're in the third and fourth tier of the membership, then you get the live stream for free. If you're in the Patreon, intermediate, scribe, and up, you get the live stream for free. So that's why it's a plus, a perk that you become a member, so you can get a lot of live streams plus other file material. You see what I'm saying that you be getting. So you can become a member. The link is right down in the video description. It says join. Click that link. You'll get a introduction video, rundown on the memberships. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarasun Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com, online, marketplace, official General Sarasun Seti, DVD, lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies for the kings, the queens, and the children. 25% off selected items at this time. Holistic tonics and remedies, African and Kemetic jewelry, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. We got you. Check it out. Save and shop and save 25% off selected items at this time. Pull the fire alarm, pull it. GeneralSeti.com, SETI University. Over 1,000 videos on African history, heritage, spirituality, nation building. Not only do we have the 1,000 videos by General SETI, we also got the supplemental, but also monumental and instrumental documentaries, research material, lectures of the Grand Masters. We got obscure documentaries on the New World Order. We got on the viruses and so on, information that you cannot post on YouTube and other internet platforms. So you got access to a lot of that information. So make sure you get over there, generalseti.com, SETI University, and get that smoke. It's there for your family. SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never calm. Exclusive live stream, too hot to handle on YouTube. We check it out, fam. We've been dropping fire for the last month. Every other day, we dropping 2, dropping 3. You see what I'm saying? And so you get over there, find you a tier that you like. If you want it all, you go to the top. But no matter what tier you choose, we got some smoke for you. So get over there. You get to see the general live. You see exclusive live streams. Every video on there you can see live before it's posted and uploaded as a video. So that's the perk of being on Patreon, that you get to see the general live. And make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. Now, we talking about, key events in the world that prove that Ragnarok is real. And and this is serious information that I'm dropping to you. You see what I'm saying? We black it up all the time. And we're gonna black it up today, and just so that you can see the proof. You see that reality is taking place. the prophecies are taking place and becoming realer and realer every day. A lot of people, if you don't know what Ragnarok is, it is the end of the world. You see, as far as the Nordic traditions, you see the Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, the caveman, the Viking, they world coming to an end, and key events that lead up to Ragnarok. Ragnarok means doom of the gods. Doom of the gods. So they know that every god that they worship is gonna die. They know that they will perish. The most beloved of their gods is gonna perish in Ragnarok, the doom of the gods. Now, I've been, I study it, and as I dug deeper into the studies, it was just key events that, like, damn, that shit happening now. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not all that positive if they are actually purposely putting in place, you see, key events to pull this off. You see what I'm saying? You can have, this could be very well could be a blueprint that was laid out. And you thinking that somehow some mystical energy. No, it's not going to be it's a military operation that's going on right in front of your eyes. You see, to bring this about. Now, one of the key events that will happen that really started off, and a lot of people don't understand this, but I got to bring it to you, that Ragnarok starts where there's 3 consecutive winters without no damn summer or no spring in between them. You see, 3 consecutive. Now, for me, that's the Ice Age. You see, that's the Ice Age. Now, I'm gonna get more in depth into that part when I go on the Patreon, because it's gonna be some things that I'm gonna say that's gonna hurt feelings, but it's the truth. It comes directly from the manuscripts. You see, when them three winners come, how they break, the society will break down. And you could just imagine what would happen in a time like that. You see what I'm saying? You see that one movie, 2012. And the ice just, and motherfucking snow just started. And the goddamn ice was over the goddamn Statue of Liberty. New York froze and this, that, and third. But what we got to understand, that this would be 3 consecutive. Now, that could be metaphorical. That could be metaphorical when you say 3. You see what I'm saying? We don't know if the 3 is decades. We don't know if they are centuries. You see, but I know they wouldn't be but I'm not going to say what it couldn't, because they survived the Ice Age. Obviously they survived. They adapted to whatever, whatever the environment threw at them, that, they adapted to it. They became what they became, or a lot of them was that before it even happened. You see what I'm saying? But we understand that in a catastrophic situation like that, people not having food and shit and this, that, and that, they broke down into some very brute-like motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? And they speak about that. It ain't like they don't speak about it. You see, but we don't deal with they teachings like that. You see, and so the thing is, after the 3 consecutive winners, which is what's going to start Ragnarok. And like I say, for me, it was the Ice Age. That part didn't already happen. And so, there's some other elements, but technically that was the first thing that would happen. Once they knew it, wow, it's on. And society will break down and that will be the precursor. You see what I'm saying? To the end of the world. Now, in this saga of the Ragnarok, we see that Surtur, which is the fire demon. You see what I'm saying? They say he was there from the beginning of time. That's very significant. That he was there from the, and he's gonna be the antagonist. He's gonna be the one that gonna bring the doom. He's gonna be the one that brings the doom. All the demons and shit. And you know, that's how they do. And this is really the backdrop of Lord of the Rings. This is basically the backdrop of Lord of the Rings. You know, Ragnarok. You see where they match up and shit, and though they change it to where they come out on top and shit, and this, that, and the third, this is basically the backdrop. Now, in this saga, you gonna see the gods, the ones that they adore, they gonna match up against some of the beasts and the demons on the other side, and they gonna lose. Now, what's very critical, there is some ancient Egyptian mythology inside of the Viking mythology. You see, we got to understand that all religion, they don't have no religion. They didn't have no structure to shit. So I don't give a goddamn which one it is. A lot of people don't understand that the Vikings is Romans. You see what I'm saying? Many of what they call Vikings were Romans. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, though they may have been in the army, the Romans went around all of Europe and they beat up smaller nations and smaller tribes. They took their children, educated them in Rome, and then sent them back to their own nations as, you know, basically ones to, you know, bring them over to the side of Rome to educate them into what was, you know, what was proper in the way that the Romans wanted, you know, the world to move and how they wanted to educate the peoples in the world. So they sent their own children back to educate them. That's really, and so when you see that many of the Romans had took from the Egyptians, the Greeks had took from, that's how they structured their religions. And you know what I'm saying? That's why so many of the gods and shit look so similar. So, you know, the Vikings got, you know, a lot of their information from the Romans because they were Romans. They when the Romans and Alexander attacked Egypt and there were Vikings with them, meaning that there was Europeans out of those areas that were in the hordes of Alexander and the Romans. And so when they come into Egypt and they saw things and they took it back with them to their lands. You see what I'm saying? Now, one of the key battles, it cannot be disputed, was the battle between Thor and the Midgard serpent. Now, the Midgard serpent is a serpent. He's a water serpent. He's a lot like Leviathan and this, that, and the third. And he's so big that he can encompass the whole planet. And he lives in the ocean. Now, when you break down the name of Thor, you will see that Hor, H-O-R, which is the root of Horus, is in Thor. Okay? And if you study the ancient Egyptian spirituality, you will see that when Ra sets every day, that Apep, the serpent, you understand what I'm saying, in the celestial Nile, chases the ark of Ra, trying to eat Ra. But you have Set and you have Horus that's at the front of the ark with a spear, spearing Apep. You see, you know, stopping him from being able to attack Ra. You see, and so in that same, and you can see that throughout many of these stories, even with Hercules and what they call the Hydra. You see, Hercules is another, because Heracles, you see, Heru is in Hercules. And so you see the battle between Hercules and the Hydra. You see that battle between the sun, and it's really a solar mythos. It's a cosmological mythos. You see, but it's using anthropomorphic deities to, tell the story, and so, but people who don't have the deeper wisdom, they'll never see the cosmological, they'll just see the anthropomorphic story. Now, what's crazy, when this Midgard serpent, because, a lot of these demons are contained until Ragnarok. They're not just roaming the earth. And so when Ragnarok starts, then the Midgard serpent rises up out the oceans. And what it says, number one, when he rises up, that there will be great tidal waves, you see, that will, crash against the lands. You see, bringing floods, and you see what I'm saying? This is one of the effects of the Midgard serpent. And so when you look around, and part of what they call the global warming and so on and so forth, they saying is flooding. You see, it's the flooding because of the fact that, especially if you're blocking out that sun, or and it's heating up. You see what I'm saying? And what if it's blocking the, if it's clouds that's blocking the sun is not getting to that water. It's not getting to them oceans and them seas. And when it's naturally getting through, it heats the oceans up. It heats the seas up, which causes clouds. See, it heats that water up, and so it doesn't rise to levels that's, unnatural levels where, it just starts to flood the lands, you see. But if it's the sun not getting through, in that process, the water table and the water cycle, that natural process is not happening, then the water is not dissipating and is rising to unnatural levels, and it begins to flood. This is what's happening. So that was one of the things, that when the Midgard serpent rises up, that there will be a lot of flooding on the land. Now, number two, he's a poisonous fucking serpent. He's a very they say when he rises up, that he will emit a poison into the ocean that will kill. They got pictures, where the paint, the artist will paint, what it will look like. You see whales and all type of shit dead in the ocean. This is what it says, that this motherfucker will emit a poison that will kill everything in the ocean. And I'm looking like, goddamn, I just did a goddamn show, a presentation just a few days ago, where they talking about it's going to be a fishless ocean in about 20, goddamn, and they talking about all the whales and all the sharks that these motherfuckers is killing and shit, and this, that, and so we look at it like, oh yeah, some goddamn some demons and shit, and didn't know the demons is on the planet. See, a lot of times we think it's an actuality. It's not no goddamn no fucking no mythical, magical. No, it's a real thing that's happening right before your eyes, and you so stuck into the goddamn storytelling, you can't see that this shit is really happening. You see what I'm saying? So, this Midgard serpent will bring the floods and emit a poison in the ocean that will kill everything in the ocean. Look like that shit happening. You see what I'm saying? It looks like it's happening to me. You see? And so, That's one of the things. You see, and the fact that this Surtur, which is the sun, you see, and what they saying is that this whole goddamn earth is gonna be submerged. This shit gonna be submerged. And what they saying that Surtur, which is defied, he gonna set this shit ablaze. They say all this shit gonna catch a fire. Ain't nothing gonna survive. They say this shit gonna go black. It's gonna be a new world to rise out of that now. But this shit will be burned down, goddammit. It's gonna be burned down. They say it's gonna go black. He gonna burn this shit all the way down. But we got to understand this is their world. You see, this is not our world. This is their world that will be burned down. You see, and a new world will rise up out of that. You see what I'm saying? And it's almost like a retelling that, you know, there was some humanity that, you know, that so happen. I hope it don't happen that way, because we talking about their story. You see what I'm saying? And somehow did these two people survive, and there was some of the deities' children that lived on and shit. And I was trying to see, because I didn't see where Surtur was even killed. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know if he lived on or not. You see what I'm saying? But some of the key indicators that they say would happen are happening, have happened. You see what I'm saying? Now, when we look at, you know, the fact that, you know, they're fighting Ragnarok. Are they fighting it or are they helping it? Because you have to damn near do your research, because it's like they're doing two damn operations at one time. You see what I'm saying? They heating the motherfucking planet up. They heating the planet up, number one. I'm showing you what they doing. They heating it up. How are they heating it up? They got all these factories. They burning coal. They burning the wood. See, all that got carbon, and the trees breathe in carbon. So when you burn trees, that's all you releasing into the air is carbon. You see, you know, and so what they saying is so much, and carbon can bind to damn near anything. You know, it's more carbon creations in the universe than any other element. You see what I'm saying? Carbon combining. And so what they saying is so much carbon in the air. You see what I'm saying? When the heat from the sun come down, instead of it bouncing back out or block, you know, it's binding to the goddamn carbon. You see what I'm saying? And it's staying in the atmosphere, which making it hot, making it real hot. You see? And so they figuring the only way to stop that is to cut down on carbon emissions. You see? But the reality is these corporations are not ready to do that. You see what I'm saying? So they continuing. And not only is they burning the coal, not only is they burning of course they burning the wood, but they cutting down the fucking trees. And the trees is what breathe in the carbon. That's what breathe in the carbon. To put, you know, now if you ain't got the trees to breathe in the carbon, now you got excess carbon in the air. That's what it's about. You know, and so the carbon that they putting in there, not that carbon is a natural element. It's a necessity of life. We're talking about the unnatural element of all these factories, and you see, and all this, you know, burning the trees and burning all this shit into the air. This is what we talk. We're not talking about the natural process of, you know, us breathing out carbon, because we breathe out carbon. The trees breathe it in and produce oxygen for us. You see? And so when you realize that they're not really stopping cutting down the trees, you see, you know, in a natural world, you have to judge how much you gonna cut down, and you have to gauge how long it would take the based on how much you cut down, how long it would take for the trees to grow back. You just can't cut and cut and cut and cut. These motherfuckers ain't no end to their destruction. So what they doing basically is terraforming the planet. They changing this motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? That's basically what they doing. Now, this is what they doing, because it's just like they medicine. You sick, and you sick based on shit that they putting in the food, they purposely putting in the water, purposely putting in the air, instead of them, doing away with the poison, doing away with whatever they doing is causing people to get sick. They continue to do that and then give you some medicine to mask what the fuck they doing. So now you got all this carbon that's in the atmosphere. You cutting down the trees, you burning all this garbage and shit. You see what I'm saying? I showed y'all how they got all this shit in the ocean, garbage and garbage. They literally gonna have to ban motherfuckers from going to the ocean. You understand what I'm saying? And again, they hunting the fish to extinction. You see what I'm saying? Not just, and they know that how much fishing, because a lot of the fishermen is talking about, well, back when my granddaddy was fishing, and we dropped the net down, and then goddamn, they just leap in the goddamn net. Nah, they saying goddamn, they could throw the motherfucking net out. You understand what I'm saying? And damn, you know what I'm saying? It take damn near all day to get a full net. You see what I'm saying? You drop that motherfucker down there in the old days, then goddamn it, you can drop that motherfucker down in damn 30 minutes and pull that motherfucker up, goddamn it. It might break the crane trying to pull them goddamn fish up there. That didn't change. You see what I'm saying? And so, I mean, how long does it take you to gauge the fact that y'all didn't fished all the goddamn fish out the damn ocean? You see what I'm saying? You didn't did it. You didn't create chaos. So what they doing now, you got global warming. Now they into global dimming. You see? And so they're not fixing what they fucking up. They're not fixing it because they don't have, I guess the motherfuckers in the government really don't have enough power at this time to force these industries and shit, these barons and shit, these goddamn oil barons and all these goddamn, these big factory mega companies and shit to stop. And so what they're doing is they call it global dimming on top of the global warming. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people say it ain't real. It is real. They fucking, if you think they ain't fucking this planet up, you's a fool. You understand what I'm saying? We understand the natural thing that's happening. We know the planet gonna naturally get warm. We're not talking about that. We talking about what they doing to fuck this planet up. That ain't got nothing to do with the natural aspects of the planet warming. So that part of it, even without, it's gonna warm. We know that. So we don't want nobody to, but we as a natural creation, we as the planet warm, we build up to that. We ain't nothing gonna happen to us. You see, we got all of the natural ingredients in us that we gonna rise just like the earth rise. But this is something unnatural that's happening. And so instead of them fixing what they fucking up, they call it global dimming, where they put a layer of all type of, poison in the sky, because that's what it is, to block out the sun. You understand what I'm saying? Because they can't stop these motherfuckers from cutting down the trees. They can't stop them from burning this goddamn coal and shit, fucking this. You know what I'm saying? So what they gonna try to do on top of all the poison that's already here, they gonna put a layer of aerosol on the upper portions of the atmosphere to block out the sun, which is called global dimming. You see, so you got two fucking unnatural, which they call chemtrails, which they already been doing anyway. You see what I'm saying? They've been doing it because they already know how bad they fucking this planet up. So this is like, and so that's what Biden was talking about. He don't, they say it is helping. What they say, the rules and regulations that they have put in place, and with some of the nations complying to the rules, that it is, they say the ozone is shrinking to the smallest it's been in I don't know how many years, but it ain't shrinking fast enough. You see what I'm saying? So Biden and his government leaked the fact that they was considering, you understand what I'm saying? I believe they call it solar radiation something. You know what I'm saying? Where they gonna put arrows, but they just leaked what they was already doing anyway. They had been doing that shit. That's what they call chemtrails. You see, got all type of poisons in the shit, aluminum and other crazy ass shit, causing all type of diseases and shit. Soon as you step out in there, man, as soon as you step outside, goddamn nigga get to sneezing and feeling all funny and shit and this, that, and the third. And so, nigga, they terraforming. And so, yeah, this is the beginning of Ragnarok. This is many of the elements that they say, but you got to understand that in myth you find reality, you see, and in reality you find myth. You see, a lot of it you look at the mythology and you get caught up into the characters and shit, not understanding that it's a real manifestation that's happening right before your motherfucking eyes, and you not paying attention to it. You see what I'm saying? And like I say, when I get on Patreon, I'm gonna speak specifically with them, them three winners, because you could imagine with them three winners back to back to back, how it created the motherfucker that you see today. You see, and they talk about it. They very clear about what it changed motherfuckers into. You see what I'm saying? What it changed motherfuckers into, and it's crazy. But that's too raw for YouTube, and so most definitely y'all get on over there, and we most definitely gonna drop that one for you. It'll be early tomorrow, so you make sure you get over there. We're not done, family. We're not done. It's going down on General Sarasun Seti's page tonight. So let's stay in the groove, and let's stay getting this wisdom. I'll be right back. This is General Sarasun Seti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.